Alright, so now we are converting each radian measure to degrees. We know that it's radians in a couple of ways. I see pi. This one doesn't have pi, but we also learned that if it's degrees, it'll have the little degree symbol, that little 0, right? Superscript 0. So this is actually measured in radians. Now we just learned that you can do a couple of estimating ideas, right? Think about this. I think it's better if I said theta equals 9 pi over 4. What's theta? Theta is usually the most common angle, so let's say this is angle. And let's just say I tell you it's 9 pi over 4. 9 pi over 4, if you reduce this in your calculator, it's going to be something like over 2, right? So a whole circle is 2 pi, so this is more than 2 pi, so our degrees is going to be more than 360. So I'm going to put my radians, 9 pi over 4 divided by 2 equals degrees over 360. Raise your hand if you did that so far.
Is it 2 pi?
There it is. Okay, you can do a couple of things right here. We learned about proportions. Does anyone know a trick of solving proportions? You could cross multiply. Raise your hand if you know what that is. I don't like it. It's a trick. It's a shortcut. It just saves you 2 steps. You can just cross multiply here. That is one way of doing the problem. The reason why cross multiplying works is basically if I'm solving for degrees, I'm multiplying this side by 360 on both sides, and then I divide my answer by 2 pi. And you'll see it's the same thing when I do it. So I have 2 pi times the degrees equals 9 pi over 4 times 360. Now let's just deal with this fraction over here, 9 pi over 4. Class, how do you make 360 degrees a fraction? We're going to put over 1. Yesterday we talked about writing factors for 360. What are you going to write? 4 and 90. Okay, and over here I still have 2 pi times the degrees. So over here I'm just going to cancel my 4's. I have 2 pi times the degrees equals 9 times 90. 810 pi. And then I'm just going to divide both sides by 2 pi. These will cancel. Your degrees is equal to 810 divided by 2? 405. And notice how here the pi's cancel. Do you see that? And that makes sense because if I'm solving for degrees, I shouldn't have any pi's in it. Raise your hand if you got 405 degrees. Okay, so it's just using that magical proportion and simplifying. Let's do another one together. Class, what's my radians? And we're solving for what? Partner B till partner A. How do you solve a proportions? Everyone say on the count 3. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Let's cross multiply. Don't just do the trick, understand the math. So I have negative 5 pi over 6 times 360 degrees. Where's the 360 degrees, class? Numerator, denominator? Numerator. So 2 pi times your degrees. Doesn't matter which side you write it. Class 6 goes into 360 how many times? So I have negative 5 pi times 60 equals 2 pi times the degrees. I'm just going to save myself my time. Watch this. I decided not to multiply. I'm just going to divide both sides by 2 pi. Pay attention. These are canceling. They're equaling 1. Then I'm canceling my pi's. 2 goes into 60 how many times? And negative 5 times 30. negative 150 degrees equals my degrees. So negative 5 pi over 6 is equal to negative 150 degrees. And let's try our last problem. There's no degree symbol, pay attention to that. I'm just going to put it 4.25 radians over 2 pi equals degrees times 360. You can cross multiply or just multiply both sides by 360 degrees. So I have 4.25 times 360 equals my degrees times 2 pi. Divide both sides by 2 pi. Perfect. 4.25 times 360 times 2 pi. Everyone said calculator ready equation? Do not put things into your calculator until the very end. I want a calculator ready equation. What does that mean? This is how you're going to get 3 out of 4 points on a free response. I'm looking that I can just put all of this in to my calculator just as you are, and I should get the same answer as you do. Does that make sense? So you're actually getting 3 out of 4 points to do everything algebraically before using your calculator. Make sure your calculator is on degree mode. 4.25, put an extra parentheses so the calculator knows that I know what the top of the fraction is and the bottom of the fraction. Close my set of parentheses there. And then I'm going to divide that by 2 pi. Remember, your pi button is over here. Now, hence, I am not using 3.14. That's why I'm using the calculator, right? 3.14 is an approximation. And I have this really big number. I don't like that number. Let's talk about number sense. Why do I not like that number? Talk to your partner. Talk to your partner why we don't like that number. Why does this number not make sense? Actually, number 1, why do we not like this number 2,403? You're thinking of a fraction. Okay. Travis? I'm trying to model to you guys something you should be thinking about, right? You shouldn't just leave an answer. You should be thinking about it. Travis? Ashley, number 2. Ashley, number 2, Travis, and what was the other person called? Ashley, number, I'm going to lose track of your numbers. 4.25 radians. Is that less than a full circle or more than a full circle? Less. So that means my number should be less than what? 360 degrees. Does that make sense? Yeah.
I figured out what you did wrong.
Please explain to us.
When we plugged it into the calculator, it read it as 4.25 times 360 divided by 2 times pi.
Let's try an
Doesn't
extra.
mean the entire thing times pi.
So what would your remedy be?
4.25 times 360 divided by brackets 2 pi.
So what I'm going to do is, I already typed it in. You see that? I'm going to do second entry. Or second enter. Second enter. And I'm going to go to this 2 here, and I'm going to press second insert. Do you see how the 2 is blinking? So now I can put in the parentheses.
A little bright.
Class, is that a number less than 360 degrees?
Yes.
What's the lesson learned? Why did I do that? Why did I show you guys that?
You're gonna put it in the calculator wrong. You don't want us to.
I would round this to 3 significant digits. I wanted to show you guys this in a couple, why I did this in a certain way. I want you to know about what we've just learned about circles, right? If this is less than 6.28, this is less than 2 pi, that means it's less than 360 degrees. So if you put down this answer very confidently, you really don't understand degrees and radians. That's why I made you guys predict. Go ahead and talk to your partner about our 3 examples.